Hi, and welcome to my review of the Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I'm going to be reviewing this film for you, just giving my basic analysis of the film and also where I think the series is headed from here. Chronicles of Narnia series has had a bit of a rocky road, to say the least. It began in 2005 with Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which was fairly successful, actually, in terms of reviews and in terms of the box office. Prince Caspian reviews, actually, a lot of people said it was better than the first film, but it didn't make as much money. It really underperformed, and Disney dropped it, and it was picked up by 20th Century Fox. So that brings us now to Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and it came out in December. But I'm reviewing. I didn't see it in the theaters. I just watched it on DVD because I liked the first two films, so I figured maybe I'll try this one out. This film was a major disappointment, to say the least. They really did not keep the spirit of the first two films when making this film, in terms of the tone and in terms of the writing is atrocious in this film at parts, and then also the CG is really bad in a lot of parts of the film, and it's sad because it was amazing in Prince Caspian. I thought they did a great job. And then in this film, they really just didn't. It's clear they didn't spend as much money because the last film didn't do as well, so they weren't willing to take as big a risk. And it's probably good that they didn't, because this film did make a lot of money, and it's probably going to be the end of the series. And if they do make another one, it'll be the prequel, Magician's Nephew, which I'm okay with. I'm done with this series now. It's lost me. But anyway, so let's review Dawn Treader, which was my favorite book of the series, and they completely botched it. To begin with, you have the Pevensey children, just Edmund and Lucy, this time staying at their cousin Eustace's house. And they don't like him. He's a bit of a jerk. He's arrogant. He's kind of altruistic. He thinks he knows what's best about everything. And they get sucked into this portrait that they're looking at of an ocean and a ship, and then they're transported to Narnia. About 6 minutes into the film, they're transported into Narnia, which I think was too soon. I wasn't able to get emotionally invested in this film as I was with the other films, with the credit sequences in the other films, the extended credit sequences. This one only has like 3 credits. That's a bit of an issue. So then we're basically transported to Narnia within 6-7 minutes of the film, and here we are on the Dawn Treader. This was the first bad use of CG in the film. It looks so fake. The ship looks terrible. They did not do a good job with the ship on the overhead shots of the ship and of the ocean and the sky. It all looks like it just is not real. I don't like the look of this film. It looks fake. I mean, there's no better way to say it. So that's the first thing that I have an issue with. The next thing I have an issue with is the script. This film there's so many scenes in this film. Just to name a couple, there's a scene where, well, almost in every scene in this movie, you have characters saying things that are evident to us, the viewer. We can see that. We don't need a character to explain it to us. It's almost as if the filmmakers don't think that we have eyes. We can see everything that's going on in this film. These characters, for some reason, think that we can't. Like, for example, there's a scene where Edmund and Caspian are looking for Lucy after she's disappeared, after she was kidnapped by the Duffelpuds, and a mansion appears, and Skander goes, "What mansion?" And then he looks and he sees the mansion after it has reappeared, and he goes, "Oh, that mansion." A terribly delivered line. And why is it there? Why do we need that line? And that's not the only example. There's many examples in this film of characters saying things that are so self-evident. We don't need it. Also, there's many moments in this film where the acting is terrible, but I mean, the actors can't do that much with a terrible script. The director, it's his fault. He should have said, "I demand something a little bit better in terms of what the script has." It is just bad. There's an example where Edmund is basically overcome with temptation because he sees that there's this pool of water that can turn anything into gold called death water. He can dip anything. If you put anything in it, it turns the thing into gold, kind of like the hand of Midas, basically. And Edmund, he's fascinated by this, and he looks at it, and he has a horrible delivery of going like, whoever possesses this can become the most powerful person in the world. I'm like, okay, are you serious? Do we need that much of a campy, cheesy line? And there's more than just that. There's a scene where basically the plot of this film, if there is a plot, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense, but apparently all that they have to get the 7 swords that the 7 lost lords had and put these swords together, and then these swords will destroy this mist that is corrupting people and is I don't know what it's doing to the people. The people disappear if they're put into the mist. Where they go, I don't know. The film never says. It doesn't make any sense, first of all. Second of all, why do these swords... This was not in the book at all. This was a total departure from the book. There's no plot about these 7 swords. The book is very clear that there is no point of the voyage. The voyage is simply the means of seeing how these characters develop, see how these characters deal with issues they have internally, see how they eventually reach Aslan's country at the end of the film. It's more about the journey than it is about the destination, I think. And the film doesn't get that. The filmmakers decided we need to have a villain, so they brought back the White Witch, which I think was a terrible decision because the White Witch, that arc had ended in Prince Caspian with Edmund stabbing the ice. He's like, I know, Peter, you had it sorted. Okay, we got it. I thought that was fine in Prince Caspian because it was good that there was a moment where Edmund was able to overcome what he had faced in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's fine. But do we need it again in this movie? No, they're just doing it because they don't have a villain for this movie. And the book doesn't have a villain. That's what makes the book unique. But the filmmakers, they didn't want to do that. They wanted to go the cheap, easy way and have a villain in the White Witch who is like... I don't even understand where she is existing. What is this mist exactly? There's this green mist throughout the movie. Whenever a character is being tempted, this green mist comes up. And it's supposed to signal to the audience like, aha, they're being tempted. Well, okay, but what is it? Where is this mist coming from? I don't understand this. It's not explained sufficiently. So to deviate from the book, why are you going to deviate from the book if you can't even come up with a plausible plot that makes sense? It doesn't make any sense. That's why. So the filmmakers clearly didn't know what they were doing with this plot, and they also did not understand what the point of this book was when they were making this adaptation, because the point of the book, there's a quote in the book where Reepicheep says, I did not think we came on this journey to seek worldly possessions. All we are seeking is honor and adventure. Okay, that's clearly not what this film is about, because they're seeking these 7 swords so they can put them together and destroy the mist. That's clearly not what this film is about. So it's unfortunate. Now, I'm going to get into also some other things in the film. Will Poulter plays Eustace, and he's actually probably the only part of this film that I kind of liked. Eustace is one of the most interesting characters in the series of Chronicles of Narnia because he has a great transition and he has a great character arc of being this horrible person at the beginning of the book to becoming this like selfless person after he's transformed into a dragon and then untransformed. But in the movie, the actor does a great job, Will Poulter, but the character is not defined very well. He doesn't suffer like he does in the book as a dragon. It seems like it's kind of cool to be a dragon in the movie. That's really not what the book is about. It's about he's limited in what he can do as a dragon. Also, I have a problem with Skander's delivery of so many lines in this film. He's a good actor. I think he's a good actor. He was pretty good in Prince Caspian, and he was finally, we were starting to get who this kid is after Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But now in this film, it's like they almost took a step backwards, because why is Skander's biggest dilemma in this film the White Witch? Honestly, he finished that arc in Prince Caspian. Why bring it back? It doesn't make any sense. That's the only thing I can think of. That's the only thing. Oh, and also he throws in a line randomly in Deathwater that I've always been playing second fiddle to you, and now Peter, and now you, Caspian. It's not fair. I should rule a kingdom of my own. Where'd this come from? He never had this in any part of this movie, or really the second movie. In Prince Caspian, he clearly accepted that Peter is better. Peter is more able to lead than Edmund. Why in this film does he suddenly bring it up? I don't know. I can't explain that. Ben Barnes, Caspian. Caspian has issues where he's trying, in the book at least, he's trying to become a better king. He feels like he's not worthy to be king. That's why he went on this voyage. Partially was because he wanted to find these 7 lords that his father had banished. But in the film, they don't even care about this. They don't even care about the lords. All they care about is the 7 swords. So that's an issue. But in general, he's having his temptation in this film is he doesn't think he can live up to his father's legacy and his father's expectations. That's okay, but it's not. There's not enough development of that. There's only 2 scenes in the film where he has that. So I mean, and then Lucy, she's having issues in this film about her looks and about her vanity, and I mean, it's okay, but it's not. There's one scene where it works in the magician's when she's looking in the magician's book and she sees a mirror and she transforms into what she believes is the ultimate beauty, which is her older sister Susan. That's fine, but I didn't like the alternate "It's a Wonderful Life" reality sequence where we see what would happen if Lucy was never born. That was never in the book. That doesn't make. It's kind of stupid. It's been done before. It's been done to death. That's the problem with this film is they're not willing to go any place that a film hasn't gone before, except in a couple parts. They're trying to just go with the tried and true formula of a fantasy film, and it's a shame because the book is such it's a weird, exceptional, existential book with no villain, which is what makes it kind of interesting. They didn't do that with this film. They clearly decided we're going to take a different route with this film, and not only are we going to take a different route, we're going to make it pretty much the exact opposite of what the book was saying. So, again, even if I cannot think of the book, this film is still not good. It's the acting is bad. The script is terrible. The CG is mediocre at best. And while some of the actors do a decent job, well, I'm sorry, but there can't be some actors that just get absolutely nothing, like the ship's captain Drinian. He has nothing to do in this film. And also, why even make this film, honestly, if you're not going to follow the book? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why even say this is based off of C.S. Lewis's novel? Because it's clearly not. It's clearly a deviation from it in pretty major ways. I can honestly say the only things I liked about this film were I enjoyed Will Poulter's performance at times, not always. I enjoyed the battle at the end with the sea serpent was pretty cool, but it could have been. The problem was it was interspliced with Eustace's undragoning by Aslan, and that doesn't really work because you've got 2 major things going on. Essentially, the point of this book is Eustace becoming a better person, and that's a major point, and the film kind of shrugs it off because it intercuts it with the sea serpent battle. I didn't like that. What else did I like? I mean, it's hard for me to find things. I liked the end of the film. The credits are really cool. I liked. I enjoyed Lucy's performance at times, not always, but at times. What else? Oh, I really enjoyed the slave trade. Not the whole scene, but the opening when they discover the slave trade. I thought that was really neat and it was really well done, and there was actual suspense that was built up, which wasn't in this movie. Another big problem with this movie is pacing. It's too short. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes. That's way too short for a Narnia film. The other films were well over 2 hours. What happened? Why do they have to make this so short? It doesn't make, and seriously, it doesn't make any logical sense why you would cut 30 plus minutes out of a film just because you want to get more people to see it. That's ridiculous because it leaves so many things unanswered, and it also leaves you wanting more